Okay, hello and welcome to Exploring PTS Primo Charts. This is our ninth session today. Today we are going to talk about the charts a little bit more. So we're going to talk about the layout. We're going to talk about chart appearance, the crosshairs, how to zoom in and out of the chart, and what else do I have here? Strategies are not showing. Okay, so what happens when the strategies are not showing? So that is a little bit of a thing that a lot of people have. So, okay, so I'm going to start by sharing my charts, PTS Primo Charts. And now I have on the right-hand side, I have 4 charts open. It's the same symbol on different time frames. On the left-hand side, I have the multi-scanner with my symbols and a portfolio manager. So the connectors are connected in a way that if I change the symbol on my scanner, only the name of the symbol will change on the chart and the time frames will remain as they are. And that is because I don't have the periodicity connected only on the first chart, which is the daily time frame that the scanner is working with. The rest of the time frames are connected by symbol, which is the S, and not by periodicity, so that will allow me to keep the time frames that I'm working with. So now we have the layout configuration icon. So suppose that you want to see your charts on a different layout. So you have these 4 squares yellow icon. The first one is to have a full screen. So we're going to do that. This is the full screen. And if I split the screen with the second one, all of the charts will go to the right-hand side and anything else will go to the left-hand side. And that will happen with any of these icons. If I click on this one, the charts will stack one over the other, and the rest of it is going to be on the left-hand side. This is going to stack whatever you have up and down. So what happens if I'm going to leave this one? What happens if you don't want to have this as it is, but you want to change it further and you don't find any option here? Like, for example, you have this one, but you don't like it like that and you want to change it, you know, like you don't find any of these layouts work for you. So one way to change this even further is by left clicking over the name of the chart, which in this case is QQQ 15 minutes. And then while holding your mouse down, you're going to see 4 squares on the upper part. And you can place that chart, let's say here on the right-hand side. You can do the same thing with the lower one. So now you have your 4 charts and you can see them if this is what you want to do. So let's move this again to just a split screen and suppose that you want this to be one on top of the other and the right-hand side you want it as it is. So you don't have an option for that. So you will choose which one you want to stack up. So let's go to the portfolio manager. And then you see the blue areas while you're holding your left mouse down is informing you of where this is going to be placed. So if I drop the mouse here, this is what is going to happen. So again, if I want to move this, I'm going to put it where it was before. I can do that. Sometimes you just want to move one chart to the left-hand side. And you can do that by holding the mouse down and then you decide where do you want to put this chart. Even you can do this and you see what happens. It's going to have like 3 sections, okay? So you can move around this even more besides the options that you're giving here. And that's the first topic. On our second topic, I'm going to talk about this icon, which is the chart appearance. So with this one, when you click on it, you can change a lot of the things, like, for example, the fore color and the top color. So if we play around with this, the top color and the bottom color. So if you play around with this, let's say that you want to have something like this. So if you keep playing with this, you're gonna get more colors to play around with. Okay, so that's one. Originally they are white. Okay, so that's the top color and the bottom color. You can also add, like, for example, the grid line. Okay, the X grid line. So that's the vertical lines or the horizontal lines. So you can add them from here. Also, for example, if you don't have the PTS, which is the coloring of the bars, you can actually change the color of the candles. So the bar up will be usually green and the bar down will be usually red, okay? And you see that, okay, where's the green bar? So you have to, instead of having a hollow candles, you have to move this to a candle chart, okay? For that to be effective. And there's no way to reset this to the default color. So just remember what you're playing with. So in this case, the bar up was white and our bar down was black. Okay. So also you have the fore color, the top color. So that refers to these axis colors. Okay, so if you don't want them, it depends on how you have your chart, because if you have your chart all black, probably you will need to change those to white. So that's pretty much what the chart appearance will do for you. And this is this icon with the three colors. That's where you access it. Another one that we have is the crosshairs for today. So the crosshairs is this lines that will pinpoint specific areas on your chart. So as you move or hover over the candles, you will see that the information up here is changing along with it. And you can see a lot of information, like in the bottom, you can see the date, the time of each one of the candlesticks. But suppose that you want to fix the crosshairs at this point, you can right click and pin the crosshair. And then when you move the mouse, that is not going to move. And then you can unpin the crosshair. There is another option here that you may want to use. That is the global crosshair. So with the global crosshair, what happens is, let me change this to like this setting. With the global crosshairs, as you can see, as I move on the top chart, the crosshairs are moving and adapting to the time frame of the chart at the bottom. Okay, so because the upper chart is on a 1 hour time frame and the other one is on a 5-minute time frame, you see that the chart is going to move accordingly. Each time that I move an hour, this one is going to move, you know, like, I don't know how many candles to the left, looking for the same time frame, okay? So that's the global crosshair, which I really don't like to use because it moves the charts too much, but you may want to use it. It exists if you ask. So we have another crosshair, which is the custom crosshairs, and you can pretty much do the same thing, the pinning of the crosshairs. Probably you will use the pinning of the crosshair more with these ones, with the custom crosshairs. Okay, so I'm going to move my charts as they were before so I can have more visibility. So zooming in and out, this is pretty much a common question because not everybody has an external mouse on their computer. So if you have an external mouse, you usually will use the scroll ball to make the chart bigger and smaller. But in case you don't have that, you can pinch your fingers in your mouse pad. And of course, I cannot show you this at this moment, but this is what I'm doing right now, pinching the mouse pad. But you also have like a third option, which is going to these icons on the top left, the zoom in and the zoom out. So if you want to zoom in, you just click on the plus sign, and then you just highlight that area that you want to zoom from left to right, and it will zoom, okay? So you do it from left to right. If you go and zoom out, this is what is going to happen. So again, if you take the plus sign and just from left to right, highlight what, from right to left, highlight what you want to zoom out, that's the way to do it. Okay. So one last thing for today is sometimes if I'm using the mouse and I go to the multi-scanner, or if I go to the portfolio manager, then you may notice that these options are kind of grayed out. So what are the options that are grayed out when I'm on a multi-scanner or portfolio manager? All of the icons on the second row of icons. The place where you change the symbol is grayed out, but also if you go to the strategies, all of it is grayed out. So this is to inform you that you are not on the chart. As soon as you click on the chart, everything will be active again. So the icons are active, these strategies are active, and where you change the symbols is active as well. So I'm going to move left again. You lose all of that, and that's our way to inform you. If you want to do something on your chart, go to your chart, click on it, and then you can do the things. So that is what I had for today. Next week we're going to talk about Workspaces. I'm not sure if I'm doing this webinar at 12:30 at noon or at this time, but anyway, you will get the recording. Workspaces is a topic that is interesting when you want to have like different layouts on your computer. So suppose that I have this layout and then I want to change it to one of the layouts that I was telling you about before, but you don't want to lose the original one, so you can work with Workspaces and keep both and toggle between those whenever you need to do that. So that's what we are going to be talking about next week. So as always, I give you a couple of seconds. If you have any questions, type them into the chat. And if not, see you next week. So let's see. Yep. So, okay, I guess that's it. Or if you have questions, you can send them by email, and I will be more than happy to answer them. So have a nice week. See you next week.